Wow. I give Kansas credit. You know, they played better than us. I guess I was disappointed in the first half. We had 8 turnovers in the first 9 minutes of the game. We missed 11 free throws. I think 2 front ends of a 1-on-1. I thought that was as poorly as we could play. And yet I thought 14, I said we could get up to 10. I felt like we had a chance second half. And, you know, we just didn't play good enough to beat a good team. And they're a good team. And we got in some foul trouble and we had some people in there. But I learned some things about my team in the second half. We did some things better. You just can't. You shoot 34% the first, miss some layups. You shoot 51% the second half. Kansas had 20 points off our turnovers. I think the game was won or lost in the first 10 minutes with turnovers, for touchdowns, for missed free throws. And then the part that bothers me, I mean, I can't let that bother me on the missed free throws because we've been shooting really well. But those loose rebounds they got every loose rebound. I had off the bill to his team. That was the one thing we talked about that we were going to do, and we didn't do any of it this first half. Second half, did a better job, but you don't get to play. You know, you don't count wins in a half. And wins are in the game. And probably some good things I'll get out of it when I get home. But I'm just so disappointed in how hard we played the first half. We looked like the stage just didn't look like we were in sync, and that's disappointing.
Starting the back.
You said you learned something about your team. What did you learn today?
You know, we're down 16 points and come back cut it to 2 or 3. Against a good team, that's good. We executed a lot better the second half, and we got some good shots, and we made some shots. We made all our free throws but 1 in the second half. We still turned the ball over. You know, and then there was a critical play. You know, that Nick Ward layup foul, they hit the 3 on the other end while he's laying on his back. You know, that bothered me. And that was, you know, we're not good enough against them to have a 5-point swing when it's an 8-point game. And then, you know, we just kind of did that a couple times. But he's a load inside. I didn't think we covered him very well. We let him get it too deep, but that was my worry that if he pushed him a little bit, it was going to be a foul. And I mean, that was a foul on us. I'm not complaining about that, but that was my worry, and that was ended up the negative that had happened. You know, we had to put some freshmen in there that weren't ready to play. I did get some things out of Josh. Played better the second half. Kenny played pretty good. Cassius played pretty good, and a little disappointed in our bigs. You know, our juniors in the first half, I think, were 2 for 13. We're not winning games.
Against the wall on the left.
Tom, you talked about the importance of Joshua Langford coming into the season, and it sounds like you two maybe chatted at halftime a little bit. He looked like a different player offensively, especially in the second half. What was that conversation about?
God, that's so professionally said. Conversation at halftime. You know, I told him I thought he was playing. I mean, we were sneaking out every long rebound. You know, we hold them, long rebound where Josh and Matt are gone. They hit a 3. You know, I was surprised we scored that many points. I guess that's encouraging. But I told him he's got to play better, and I think he's got a lot more. When they told me he was the leading scorer, I was shocked. I mean, he did play better the second half, but Josh is a good player. He's a good player at both ends. We didn't guard as well the first half, and we didn't. Him and McQuaid are pretty good defenders too. So he told me how to play better. I guess he listened.
The play that Kenny had tonight, that was critical for you guys, I guess, with those guys, the juniors that were down. Talk about what Kenny did in terms of keeping you in.
Yeah, you know, Kenny did, and he guarded. You know, I absolutely love this tournament. I absolutely, to me, it's the greatest thing ever. And I love the NCAA sometimes, but somehow these things got to change because I can't tell you one thing. Okay, I mean, if I had glasses that were Coke bottles, you're allowed to borrow me your glasses, I still couldn't see. This is embarrassment, you know, and we already talked about it. So it just goes to show. My team didn't play very good. NCAA didn't play very good. Maybe a few times the officials didn't play very good, and I'm sure Bill Fingers, sometimes Kansas didn't play very good. But I thought Kenny did play well. You know, he rebounded double-double, made some threes. The guy that struggled tonight that's been playing really good was X. You know, had a couple critical turnovers and trying to do too much. You know, Nick Ward, I got to say this because for my writers, Nick Ward and I were the Hatfields and the McCoys most of last year. Has been so good, and it was like he was going to prove everything in one night and just did some things. But Nick he'll be okay. I've been so pleased with how he's practiced, how he shot free throws, how he just got out of character a little bit and reverted back, and we'll get that straightened out.
To the left.
Tom, with less than 2 minutes to go in the game, why did you choose the strategy to not foul Kansas?
Well, we were following Kansas. We had some foul trouble, but it was a 4-point game, I think 5. Was that what it was?
I think it was like 6.
6. And we were going to try to foul, you know, Shaq. And but he's got to get the ball. You know, they were warning me about you can't just go grab him and you can't do this and that. When Shaq got the ball, we fouled him in the last 2 minutes. But those other guys are all pretty good free throw shooters. And you know what? We cut it to 3 with 34 seconds left, and we had 2 chances to cut it to 2. So I don't know. Maybe as I look back at the film, maybe I'll agree with you, and maybe we go like most times in my life. I won't agree with you. Yeah.
Tom, you talked the other day about Cassius and his minutes.
How many?
It was 30.
You want it there?
Yeah,
30.
You're the narrator, or what are you?
Cash is 33 minutes and 44 seconds, so 34 minutes.
34 minutes. How many points? How many assists?
13.
Can everybody
13
read these
and
seriously?
11. 13 points, 11 assists,
Oh,
5 turnovers.
Matt, that really looks good.
There you go.
I'm getting old too. Anyway, you talked about the more minutes. I know you didn't play great, but in terms of his conditioning, do you think there were
Oh
times
yeah, no, he
went out a
wasn't
little bit?
great because he had a lot of pressure on him because other guys weren't. No, I'd say Cassius. You know, I'll get a couple of those turnovers. You know, maybe played a few minutes too long. We put McQuaid at the point a little bit. You know, then we came back in. I'll get Foster going a little bit. You know, but hard to play a lot of those freshmen in a big game like this, in a big stage. But I thought Cassius played more minutes and did fine. How many did Langford play?
29.
29 minutes up on McQuaid.
Quaid played 34.
Wish I would have found those out before I came here and had better answers. You know? Appreciate you doing that for me.
Front row.
I see here that Diedrich Lawson
You don't see that. I know you don't see it, so don't lie to me. What was his stats?
he drew 9 fouls. Is he going to
20 and
be
14.
He had
yes,
21. What did he shoot?
5 of 18?
So I think he was 1 of 10 or 1 of 2 of 12 or something at halftime. But he did get to the free throw line. You know, we worked all week on shrinking the court. We didn't do a very good job of that. Now they had a couple guys. Ryan hit a couple threes early, and I think, you know, guys just panicked. You know, or last year we played Purdue, and my mother was yelling at me for not doubling the post, but we did what we had to do to win the game because we didn't think we should give up threes. As soon as they hit a couple threes, it was like we panicked and didn't follow the game plan. And that's my fault. I got to do a better job, so I'll do a better job, and you know, we'll get more positives out of this than negatives. I mean, I played the number 1 and number 3 teams in the country, and Gonzaga's a very, very good team. In fact, I think they're really, really good, and we got something out of both of them, and we're going to get a lot out of this. This was good for us. Just didn't feel good because of all those loose ball things that I didn't think we got to, which is not characteristic of us.
Back row to the right.
Bill said it might be too early to play this kind of game, too early in the season. Do you agree with that? Why not?
No, that don't bother me. I mean, you know, some of those guys, when I don't think Mike cares, but like at Kentucky, you know, John doesn't want to play. I mean, who cares if you lose a game, you know? And I don't mean that as ridiculous as it sounds, but, you know, when you lose a game, those guys are a little more coachable tomorrow. And I got good coachable kids, but, you know, everybody just thinks you're going to do this and that, and I might as well come out and get punched in the mouth and then figure out, you know, if it was up to me, I know I talked to Jay Wright, he played North Carolina and Virginia, you know, and in his scrimmaging, and I'm all for that, you know, I'm gonna try to schedule him and somebody in God next year, maybe it'll help me. But it is hard, because I think, in all fairness, and I thought that was a terrible call, and I told the refs that, and I thought it was a critical call. But in all fairness, it's their first game, they're trying to adjust to new rules, it's our first game, we're trying to adjust to new rules. That's the only negative about it, but who cares, you learn from it, and we will be better for playing this game on this stage in this tournament.
Backward to the left.
Two-part question, Coach. Coming into this game, if there's something that you can pinpoint out to say that you didn't expect coming in, that you learned about your team, what would that one thing be? And the other part is, how would you grade your team overall tonight in the performance?
Well, I didn't expect that we'd give up all those loose balls, you know. I did not. I mean, that was one thing. I knew Kansas would come at us a little bit. I didn't think we'd turn over like that. Turnovers are a problem. I didn't think that. I didn't think we'd miss 11 free throws in the first half. Those are the only two things in the first half. What I learned about my team is, second half, you know, they just kept grinding. Kept grinding and you know, played a lot harder. What did the rebound total end up, man?
42-40 Kansas.
So it wasn't as bad as I thought, but that was mostly because of the second half. And it's amazing what energy and a little toughness does for you. And that, you know, Steve Smith's in our locker room, and that's the first thing he said, you know, and that's not the Spartan way, and that falls on me, nobody else, just me.
What wasn't the Spartan way? I'm sorry, what wasn't the Spartan way?
To never get a loose ball, to never, you know, I thought they outworked us the first half, I really did. And credit to them.
So you wanted to come in and push the tempo. Were you pleased with how?
At times, you know, I think we did get a little tired. You know, I probably, Kyle Lawrence played pretty good, and I was not displeased with Aaron Henry. So if I could have got those guys in a little more of a rotation, maybe I wouldn't have had it so long. I think we could have pushed it even better. I mean, there were times, though, you know, Nick on that one, like I said, that was a great play, and, you know, it's, we ran pretty good. I think we can do better, and I think we will do better.
Take two more, starting in the back row, and then
Free throws, struggles, especially early on, is that something you saw coming this season?
No. Nick Ward shot the ball so well in practice. Kenny Goins is a very good free throw shooter. Just everybody missed him, gets to be an epidemic in that first half. So I was surprised at that. I really was. And you know, second half we shot better. That's kind of what we had to do. What were we in the second half?
second half, 9 to 10, yes. There you go. All right, back row, and then Brendan to finish.
Coach, how would you grade your team overall?
I'm sorry,
It's
I
okay.
didn't give you the second one.
No worries.
I'd give us about a D+ in the first half, just because of all the different things, and probably a B- in the second half. I mean, I'm not, you know, and I don't know what Bill would grade his team to Jaskum, but I don't think he'd grade them that high, because there's no way we should have been in that game what we did the first half. So I think what you're going to see the difference with Kansas, although a lot of those transfers were there last year, but they're going to get better too, you know. But I do think we're going to get better. I think we got to get a figure out what our lineup will be. I think we got 5 guys, and those 3 juniors have to play better in the first half.
Finish up.
As upperclassmen now, how do you think Nick, Cassius, and Josh handled the individual frustrations that each had in kind of their own?
Well, Nick was good. I mean, he was not a problem in auto, which those of you that are around, it's happened before. Nick was really good. I think he wanted to, he was ready to play. I mean, I talked to Josh about it. I thought Josh got frustrated early. When he gets frustrated, I think it affects his game. And I thought Cassius was pretty good, you know, because he had to do too much there for a while, and that was tough. I didn't think Cassius was bad. I think he'll get a lot better. But they weren't what we need to have happen. I mean, if Kansas is upperclassmen, you know, I mean, Lawson, you know, he didn't play great, but he scored 20 points, he gets all those rebounds, gets us in foul trouble. What did Azubuike end up with?
He had 17 and 3.
3 rebounds?
3 rebounds. 7 to 10.
Bill Summer be ticked off about, so.
4 blocks. So, all right, that's what we got.
Appreciate it.